What's up, guys? Welcome back to the queue. It's time for round two, Blue.
Yes, it is. We just had that match go off last time. Like I said, I think actually, thinking back on a few minutes ago, at the ending result there was both teams sort of focused a little bit too much on that below bottom buff, and because of that, really, I think vVv got a little bit lucky there, winning that because they won that team fight and sort of came out on top because of it. So let's see how they change their strategy this time for this match.
Yeah, this is gonna be sick. We're seeing that we're having both engines go for their home points here, both Guardians here at the mid. This is gonna be a great rematch here. Of course, last time RNG did not manage to get the game there, but it's really interesting that this is not a tournament match, Blue. This is tournament queue with a randomized map with teams that manage to hook up with each other once again and sort of just get in sort of happenstance get put on the same map that they played before. So this is going to be sick. That we're going to have this. Deku God is up on top of the midpoint here trying to fight Muriels, and who is chasing Tiny Steamhawk. We do have control on the mid against Renko, Hibiki, and here's Muriels actually going down off point. Good guy control, trying to get everyone out. No, he does. Oh, he does warp away just in time there, Blue.
So Muriel's, what just happened there was Muriel's sort of tried to creep around the back of that staircase over there to try to get a sneak on one of the members there, just to try and force them into the engagement. Because like we saw there again, we just had that very passive pre-mid fight where they just were waiting for one of them to engage, and Muriel's went in and unfortunately didn't do a very good job at it because he completely got the whole team just turned around and bursted him down there, and that's why we saw him go down so early in that team fight.
Absolutely. I'm in with Kruk though. However, Kruk is going to be interesting because I think he's going to come over here and backcap, but here's Muriel's trying to defend, and I'm not sure if he noticed Kruk there in that stealth form, but he did manage to get it there. The mid fight here is raging on. However, blue team manages to cap both side points, and we do see that the engineer, that's going to be Steamhawk, did go and get that the buff there. That's ferocity, which of course adds 3 points to every stomp that your team gets, which will give you a total of 8 points per kill. And he's gonna stack it with the other ferocity here as Red tries to decap the sides on both side points, Blue.
Yeah, taking a look at this over here as we have both side points being fought now. So what we saw there was, I think there was a very nice shift actually on part of RNG, the blue team over here now. With the loss of that mid fight, they actually both of them sort of just split themselves up and just started going for those side points. And I think they've found out now as they went into this at least that they can hold those side points pretty well for the time being. So we might see them go for that. But once again, just to counter my own point here now, they are going for mid as well. So it's a very, very, very spread out game so far as we have all three fights on all 3 points engaged right now.
Absolutely. Kruk though is full health against Never Stray over here on the altar. Let's check this out for a little bit of time here as the spirits are going off. That's the Earth Spirit, I think it was going to Stone Spirit rather, using that ability there on that spirit. Looks like RNG's Never Stray is gonna get this though as the point. Oh man, it's just barely starting to recap because Kruk is well. First of all, he's stealth. Second of all, he's not exactly on point all the time. He is gonna to keep a decap. Let's check out mid though. What's going on, Blue?
And to notice as well with Kruk, just to go over his sort of playstyle that I've been noticing watching him over the past few days as well, you see this as well, and I'm not sure if this is intentional or not, but I notice that a lot of times he does try to snipe out this more important spirits as well to sort of just avoid the AoE damage coming in on him, because he really can't handle that sort of damage that would come in on, and it's working brilliantly for him now because he can lurk in and out of stealth, never knows when to use his actives there, and he can just poke in as soon as he's ready and burst down his opponent.
Absolutely. Kruk will get altar, blue will get mid though, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of blue coming in on Kruk. That's narrow and pure, followed by Muriels here. That's actually too much. I think that just having two of these, I think Muriels realizes this as well. He's going to peel off here and try and go for Steamhawk, who I think is going to go, yeah, he is going to go for the stillness, and I think it's actually interesting that both of us actually didn't realize the name of this buff, even though it's on the screen. And last time, if you didn't check that out, go ahead and do so. It'll be linked in the game below. But Steamhawk, quite low, gets Muriels. He is going to warp in there, going to get some backstabs off. He's one more hit, and Steamhawk goes down. There he is. He is down. Muriels needs to heal up just a little bit. He can get the Shadow Stomp, though, and this will be a kill that he needs. Oh, no. Here comes Deku God to try and deal with this some more, and Muriels is going to kind of play the shadows here as Deku God, he doesn't want Deku God to get that buff there. Red team managing to get midpoint here, and it looks like we will have Narrow get temple point. The points are rotating in teams, but I don't think it's rotating in RNG's favor here, as vVv has managed to keep a 2-cap for a little bit here, Blue.
Yeah, both teams seem to be playing very, like, sort of non-team fight styles here. Not that I don't, just sort of my limited vocabulary for the time being. Both of them are really just not really going to go for that mid fight. They're sort of just working on the outskirts. But when it does come down to it, these guys devote to team fights, though. that we're both seeing here. We saw it last match down to the bottom buff, and we're seeing it now this match again at this middle buff.
Yeah, Stillness is gonna get this massive fight here, and I do think that RNG is putting a little bit too much of pressure on these buffs, like you're saying. Like, there's no one on gate right now. They can easily peel off and get that. We do have Kruk on altar. They're gonna lose their single point in this game, and they can't afford this at this stage in play here. The 3-cap will not suit them anymore. Hibiki actually is running Tome of Courage, though. That's a very interesting choice right now, as Nero gets stomped by Mila Storm here in the mid. We're going to see Hibiki supporting his or her team here, just getting this all of these AoE skills off on her team, adding those buffs and that healing there.
And also, we just noted that Renko Hibiki did manage to get off his Light of Deliverance on the book, which full healed everyone within the range on his team back to full health, and that's not negated by any conditions like poison or anything like that, so it sort of reset the fight for his team there. But yeah, it was an interesting choice there that he is running Tome of Courage, just to go back to that for a second, because you don't really see that, because it's a very awkward weapon to use, and unless you're sort of sneaking it in, it's usually like extremely hard, if not impossible, to get most of those abilities off.
Absolutely. I'm checking out Altar right now as Kruk is going up against Never Straight. The rematch here, but here comes Muriel's to come and help as Kruk is going to go in. There is the sort of the rolling skill off Never Straight through the traits going to apply some conditions on Kruk, but actually he's going to be fine. He has 11 stacks of might, 13 now, and that's actually so much potential damage you can put out, Blue.
We're talking about Kruk right here now as he's going in. I think, you know, I'm not the most knowledgeable in the Thief here, but I think he gets that whenever he's in stealth. And since his build seems to favor just being in stealth all the time,
oh my god,
like we just saw there,
holy crap,
pop in, pop out all over targets and just be a huge pain in the butt to the entire enemy team.
Did he just one-hit Pure?
I would say it's about 75%. The crit itself was 6.3k, so that was impressive in itself. Kruk's build is one that I don't think anyone else runs besides him. So
that is intense. But check this out. We do have fighting going on over pretty much everything here. Trank is down. It's been down for 20 seconds. Mila Storm is over here. Control is trying to get it, but Deku God is here as well. And once Deku God gets his spirits out, which he does not have out right now, it will be so hard for Control to deal with this. But here is Muriel's going in on Mila, and this is going to be so helpful for Control here, as he does do so much damage against the sort of Death Shrouded formed Necro here, but he's actually kind of playing the sides as he did get damaged a little bit. Actually, Mila Storm is bassied, does get out. There she will go down. Control needs to get this stomp in order to just set the fight in his favor. Did not manage to do that. I think let's go in with Control.
Spirit
here.
Managed to get him up there.
Yeah, the Spirit, the tricky Nature Spirit there. Mila Storm is actually almost at full health now, and this is going to be the make or break moment. If Blue and Red decide to fight over here on these buffs, this is going to work in the favor of the red team. We saw it once before, we will see it again, but we are seeing Pure going in for Stillness. What they really need to do is get someone on every point, because if they do get Trank and they do get Stillness, that's not going to be that helpful for that long if they lose all the points.
Yeah, and like you said, really either team could go for the side points right now. Because if one team gets fully focused, the other one can go for the side points, and vice versa. Because I think both these teams are expending a little bit too much or too many of their resources to this bottom buff to get it. It is working to Blue's advantage for the time being, but like we just said, now that one of the red team members, the Guardian actually, which is an interesting choice to go for backcaps, is now running over to the backcaps, it's now going to work in red team's favor to just sit down here and stalemate this because blue team is not working around those other buffs, and red team is slowly just going to start taking up a lead because everyone's down here fighting, and there's only one way out of here, so you're going to be able to scout people if they go back to points.
Absolutely. You know, with Never Straight going down, with Control actually really low, this is a fight I would like to see them. They should have broken off now. If they do break off, it is to their deficit. We're gonna see Steamhawk going for Altar here. The red team does have Stillness. Red team will probably get Trank. Let's check out the fight here as Deku God now actually not going in. Control is really the only person from blue down here. No, there's Muriel's and there's Pure. That's 3 down off a point. Off of pretty much anywhere. Mid is decap. Nero is just now capping Temple. This is a fight that is kind of going on a little longer than I would like it to. Mila Storm does get the kill on Control, and the red team will get this. But check this out. We do have a blue person on every point, so maybe they'll come back with this.
So they did do the right thing this time. Muriel's on mid probably wasn't the right thing, in all honesty, because we know they were going to come up there. That's the only way to retreat from that. So they could have just let red have mid. but note that they have been on now to contest both the other side points, which was nice. At the same time, Steamhawk was correct in moving himself over there as well to hold on to the points they just grabbed.
Absolutely. It's worth noting that Red Team did lose stillness just now, so that the recap would have been absolutely devastating if they had it for the entirety of it. Red Team needs to get this decapped, get Hibiki, get Storm off that point, get the decap and come back. They're 100 points away from coming back into this game. They have the side points. Still, this is being fought over by Nero and Crook. Nero could actually take this. He rocket boots over. Interesting use of the rocket boots, jumping over that side point there. Crook is going to try and get this buff, but no, here comes Nero back in the fight, and it looks like Never Straight just getting a shot in edgewise, but not quite being able to do it. Temple being decapped by Steamhawk, who is on midpoint here. It's Control, it's Pure versus Hibiki and Mila Storm, and there's just so many particle effects here in the mid blue. Let's break down this fight, give our viewers something to take into their heads.
So far right now, what we're seeing here, Muriel's just actually came in there and bursted out Mila Storm, so everybody's going to be piling on that body, trying to get up. Unfortunately, they were too far from the body, and the stomp had already gone off, so Mila was able to get that off. Taking a look, actually, over here at the altar, that fight basically is a little bit more to talk about, because mid's sort of just a giant clusterfuck for the time being. But taking a look over here in mid, there is a little bit more strategy involved with that, because there's those holes you can knock people down through. Kruk himself has to be extremely careful, because two people that focus heavily on AoEs are currently trying to take him down, and like we just saw it there, that did actually happen. With those two guys just burning out AoEs, Kruk can't handle that. Stealth's not going to help him against AoEs, so he has to be really careful with when he engages, and if he engages at the wrong time, he could die almost instantly.
Absolutely. Control is in here, capping that midpoint from blue. They need more than a 2-cap to come back in this mathematically. Alter, though, getting decapped by Kruk, realizing the team fight is not for him. Nero is on that far point, though. He does get a decap. This is something that they need to have, and they also need to have stillness. Steamhawk is capping it. Here comes Muriel's. Actually, I think he actually bassied him before that. We'll see if Steamhawk does go down. Muriel's, oh man, using that heal. That heal, what is that? The withdraw, I think it is.
Withdraw, yeah.
Yeah, withdraw. It's just, it forces you to roll back. That's part of the skill. He rolled right into that hole. Not the greatest, but I mean, he is going to come up and help keep this cap against Nikugata. They actually do. Nope. They're just a second. Okay, decap there, and it's going to be. Hold on.
And just to go over here, what we got going on real quick, Kruk as well is now down. Good guy Control is coming in to try and get the full cap off here now. As we take a look at Kruk here, he's still down, so he's still going to be able to contest this. But as we look back over here at Temple, we have Ranka, Hibiki, and Milo Storm have now just killed out Nero Verde, so he's Red Team's going to be taking that back, pushing themselves towards the lead. But Blue Team is also about to get a second point. They might get this mid buff too, but like I said, Red Team is doing an excellent job at stopping that from happening over the past, what has been actually, it has been 3 minutes now since that buff spawned.
Absolutely, there is a 50-point deficit, but Red Team has the 2-cap. They are coming away with it. The Trank is down. Really, there's no way. I don't think RNG is coming back with this game here. It's just like 10 points away, and I think that the GGs will be coming up shortly, Blue. And I think that vVv will have their second win against RNG here in the tournament queue and on the queue, guys. So, yep, there it is. There's the win.
And actually, just to think about here for a second, how much of an upset that sort of was. If you look down to the bottom buff right now, that bottom buff did spawn, and they just got it uncontestedly. So assuming they had gone down there about 10 to 15 seconds earlier, they might have won that match, because they would have probably gotten that buff, because no one from Red Team was even close to that buff when it spawned.
Absolutely. Control just barely not able to eke that one out. So congratulations to vVv once again. Tough luck for RNG, but hopefully they queue up some more and get some victories here. Thanks for watching the queue, everybody. Go check out Blue, like I said in the earlier vid. You should also check out the earlier vids. Tonight earlier we did a Miss League match between Pink and Team Blacklisted. It was pretty epic. You should check that out. Of course, I'm Sireph. Thanks again for watching the queue.